Well, hello, beautiful people. Gosh, it's been a while since I've come on live for my Facebook Fridays. I've been traveling, and as much as I wanted to try to do a live when I was traveling, it was just too difficult. So, thank you for your patience and for tuning in today, whether you're watching me live. And if you're watching me later, thank you for catching me on the replay. Half a day, everyone. My name is Becky Toves, and I am the Crafty Chamarita. I come to you live every Friday at 12 o'clock if you're here on Guam. And if you're in the States, I always go by the Pacific time because that's where my son lives. He's in California. So it's 7 o'clock on Thursday night if you live on the Pacific time zone. So whether you are a follower or you're a subscriber, I appreciate the fact that you're here with me today. So before I demonstrate my card to you, I wanted to kind of go through some housekeeping stuff because there's some big things that are happening and I want to make sure you take advantage of it. So the primary one being that Stamping Up is doing free shipping. So it's going on right now. It's from April 23rd to the 25th if you're in the States. And if you're here on Guam, it'll be all the way up until the 26th, right before 4 o'clock p.m. So there's time to still take advantage of that. There is a minimum order of $75, but still, it's so easy to look at all the goodies, especially the things that are in the last chance section. And in addition to that, some of the paper pumpkin kits and refills and dyes and coordinating products, some of them are off as much as 75%. Now, you do need to be a current subscriber, but if you're not, don't fear. It's very easy to subscribe. You can just, if you get my email, follow the link on the bottom. And if you don't get my email, then just go to my page and then it'll show you where you can go to be a subscriber. And it happens immediately. So then you can avail to those sale things that are happening. I also wanted to tell you about the vendor fair to remind everyone, if you're here on Guam, go up to the top of the Mar on May 3rd and 4th from 9 to 3. I'll be there. Stop by my table. And as always, if you sign in, then you get a chance to win a prize at the end of the fair. So whether you're a regular attendee to the fair or you're new, come on by. Be a great place for you to see some of the paper crafting things that I've made. You can get your cards, you can get your chinchulli envelopes, you can even get some Mother's Day gifts while you're up there. And since we're talking about dates, please also save the date for May the 31st. That's going to be our catalog open house, and just be looking for more details. So we're going to actually have two sessions because the room that we use when we're up there at the Sinahanya Mayor's Complex is kind of small. So we're going to have a morning session and an afternoon session. It just shows how popular these open houses are because we've outgrown the space. So hopefully you can join me for that as well. All right, so without further ado, let me go ahead and turn on my workspace here and put on my eyes, because without that, I can't see what I'm doing. Everything is going to be a blur. So let me first show you the card that we're going to be making, and then we'll go towards making it. So this card is actually one that we'll be making for my class tomorrow, the Lavish, the ladies class. So we're going to be making all female cards. Hi, friend. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you got a minute away from the baby to come and watch me. So this is the Mosaic Technique. There's different ways of doing it, so I'll show you the two that I've kind of been playing around with, okay? All right, so let me go ahead and get my things out, ready to go. So I'm going to be using the Layers of Beauty. So I'm using this stamp here, and then I'm also using the what do you call these? The masks. Oh, I love these masks. It makes coloring so easy, and the effect is stunning. It really is. There's a lot of detail that goes into the coloring when you use the masks. So I'm going to start with my base. This is 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. That seems to be my go-to. And then I've got a piece of white cardstock here. So this piece here is 3 1/4. You know what? Let me just show you this. So if you want to take a picture of the dimensions, so this is actually what we're going to be using for tomorrow's class. So I like to leave a little cheat sheet, so that I know what I need to prepare. So this white piece of cardstock is 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. Sorry. And then the fresh freesia, which will be the back layer, will be 4 and 5 1/4. So what I did is I went ahead and I already stamped the image that I'm going to be working on, and I'm going to be starting with layers, right? So the first layer is going to be fresh freesia. So let me put that out. This is going to create the big flower. Now, I've done masks enough to know that I don't need to tape it down, but if you are unsure of yourself, then you can always tape it down. And then typically what I do to figure out where the mask goes is I just match it up. It's as simple as that, right? So I use the big flower as a guide. So quite obviously when I'm going like this, then that means that my paper is upside down. So I'm going to turn it around like this. Or, okay, wait a minute. Or maybe I did have it the right way. There you go. I did. I just put it in the wrong part. So I'm going to use these two big flowers here as my guide, and I'm just going to kind of slip it in like this and make sure it matches up. You can tell because then you have the images where it's supposed to be. Now this side is a little bit off, so I'm just going to move it. Try not to move the right side because the right side is in the right place, but the left side is not. There you go. And I'm just going to hold it down. Then I'm just going to take my blender brush and I'm just going to start coloring. Whoops. It moved a little. So that tells me I need to hold it down better. And if it doesn't color exactly where it's supposed to be, don't worry about it, because in the end, it's going to look pretty. Trust me. How do I know this? Because I've colored it and it didn't quite fall within the image, but in the end, it didn't matter because it still looked very pretty. Okay, so you just want to make sure that wherever there's a hole, that you color it in. Okay, and then you just follow the numbers. So like this one over here is number 1. I don't know if you could see that because it's, you know, the way the camera and stuff looks like it might be off. And then I'm going to do the next one, which is number 2. And here I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape. Let me open this up first before I put it down so it's ready to go. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use that big flower as my guide because I know that this is going to accentuate the flower. So just kind of keep moving it around until you think you've got it in the right place. So I'm looking at all of these images here and I'm trying to align them. Hold it down and then just start coloring away. I'm not going to do it for this card, but another thing that you can do when you're all done is take out your Wink of Stella and Wink of Stella your image. Okay, let's remove that. See, you can already see. Isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness, love it. And then the next one is going to be Orchid Oasis. And again, I'm going to use the flower as my guide. The little circle here goes for the flower here, and the little circle here goes for the other flower. Sorry, I think I moved down a little bit. Let me move this up so that I'll be more centered in the camera. Just remember to get all of the holes. See, so this one moved a little bit. Just move it back there. Yeah, so feel free to move it around if it moves during the coloring. See, another layer of color here. Very pretty, right? And now we're going to go on to the leaves. So here I'm going to do Lost Lagoon, and this one is going to get matched up to the petals. I mean, not the petals, the leaves. So just kind of wiggle it around until you get it to where it's supposed to be. So here's a leaf here, the leaf there. Okay, that looks about right. Wait, let me move this down a little bit. I don't want to spend too much time on this because we haven't even gotten to the Mosaic Technique part. We're still coloring with masking. But I tell you, using these masks really helps to cut down your time in terms of coloring. Because if you have to do this with markers, I mean, yes, it's fun if you really like to color, but I know that there are some of you out there who don't like to color. So this is a way to kind of appease you, right? Okay. Okay, it looks like I've got all of them. See, my leaves are nice and colored. And then the last one, Shaded Spruce. For some reason, I didn't put it with the others. And let me line it up again. Remember, since you're using the leaves for this, you're going to use the leaves as your guide. Okay. Oh, I'm really off. It's like, how come nothing's matching? Because I was really off. There you go. And you notice I'm not really changing brushes, right? So I'm just using basically 3 brushes, one for my light purple, one for my dark purple, and one for my greens. And I'll confess to you, I don't clean my brushes. Gasp, right? My wonderful friend Sybil, every time she uses her brushes, she cleans them. Every time. And I'm like, more power to you, Sybil. She's such a clean crafter, really. There you go. So now I've got my image, and it took all that to get this pretty image. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, I'm going to put this aside because now I'm going to need my paper trimmer. So this measurement is actually very easy to remember because this is 3 3/4. Every time you cut a layer, you're going to cut 1 1/4. Very easy to remember. Okay, so I'm just going to cut 1 1/4 here and another 1 1/4 here. Okay. So once you start cutting, be aware that you're going to need to make sure that the pieces stay where they need to go, right? So there's different kinds of mosaic techniques. You can make them all align so they can be all the same, or you can make them different sizes. And that's what I'm going to do because I've tried both and I've discovered that I really like the ones that are different sizes. To me, they just look better. And You know what? I'm not even going to measure. I'm just going to cut. Did she say that? No measuring? Absolutely. Okay, so I'm just going to cut wherever I want to, keeping in mind that um, you can go 2 pieces, you can go 3. If you want to go 4, you can, but it just means that you're going to have to cut more and you're going to have to tape more, right? Okay. And you know what? I think I'm going to use, because that flower is pretty big, I'm going to keep this flower intact. See, I have a really small one. I have a longer one. And then that goes here. And then here, how do I want to do this? Maybe I'll cut a really skinny one there. And a really long one there. And then skinny one there. So it's really up to you how you want to do it. There's no right way or wrong way to do it. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to take my base. Now this part, you have to make sure that you put everything down so that you know where you're going to glue it so that it all fits, right? My motto is always put it down first before you adhere it so that you see how it's going to look. Because if you just start gluing away, you might end up not having enough space for your pieces. So just kind of put it down first, just to make sure you know where everything's going to go, that everything's going to fit. See this one? Can you see it? It's a little bit too close to the edge, so that tells me I'm going to probably need to move this up a little bit. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and start with the top left corner. So it's going to be like an anchor, right? You're going to have like an anchor point. So this is going to be my anchor. And remember I told you I needed some more space for the bottom. So I'm going to move that up slightly. Move that up slightly, and then that'll make sure that this has enough room. Because I want to make sure that all of them have a nice border, because that creates the mosaic technique. Like the mosaic tiles, right? So when I get brave, I glue 2 tiles at a time. But because we're going, I'm doing this live, I don't want to mess this up. So sorry, I wish I had speeded this up. Maybe what I could do is do both of these, right? Because I have that as an anchor. And I'm going to do the corner first, just to make sure that I anchor that piece down. And this one's going to go right there. Now see, this one moved. Okay, all right, let's glue that down. And I'm going to do these 2 middle pieces. So see, I don't know if you guys can see, it's actually quite easy to put this together. Declan waking up from nap, I'll watch the rest of the replay. Okay, yeah, you have to go take care of the baby. He didn't nap long enough for you to watch. That's okay, that's why there's replays. Okay, put this here. And that one goes there. And then I've got these last 2 pieces. And then my mosaic will be done. Oh man, I messed up. See how, I should have. Oh man, I messed up. But you know what? See, it's not even there. That's why I should have done it 1 piece at a time. Because like I am so off. So maybe what I'll do, I'll cheat and I'll put my sentiment here. There's no such thing as mistakes, right? In stamping. No such thing as a mistake. Okay. And I think what I'm going to do is I'll use my Orchid Oasis because it's the darkest one. And I'm just going to get my my pad here because I just like the nice crisp images that come out when I have the pad underneath. So here I've got celebrating a special day with a special wish for a special person. That way I can use this card for anything. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do next is I'll adhere this down before I put on my sentiment. I just like the nice combination of the fresh freesia and the Lost Lagoon. It just looks so pretty together. Okay. And where did I put my ribbon? I'm just going to do a loop in the back. Okay, that'll work. Cut my diagonal strip. And I'm just going to use my fingers to hold it down. I moved it a little bit. It's okay. I think I like that diagonal look. I'm going to hold it down while I put my dimensionals on. So not only am I getting it ready to prop on dimensionals, but I'm using the dimensionals to keep the ribbon in place. Kill two birds with one stone, right? Oops. Put one here, and I think we're good. Very simple and easy card, but by putting the mosaic feature in the back, it just elevates the card, I think. Okay. And I'm going to cover up that part that I messed up in, where it didn't align. And there it go. Something must have been moving when I was doing this because it's crooked, right? It's crooked, but it's okay. Sorry. When I talk a lot, I still get that dry cough kind of thing. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and show you the other cards that I made. So this was the first card that I made. Can you see the difference? So it's the same format, but the only difference is this one, I cut them all straight. So if you're going to do it this way, then I'm a cheater. You can measure it, but I don't do that. I just lay it all on my paper trimmer and I just cut it. Then I moved it down and then I cut it again, right? So I rather work smarter than work harder. All right, so this is the card that I started off with. This is the card that I made today. I forgot to put the gems. Let me do that now before I forget. This is the new gems, by the way. This is coming from the new annual catalog that will launch on May the 7th, I think, right? Isn't it pretty? It's called Holographic Resin Dots. It's quite pretty. I'm going to put one here since that's just a blank one. And let's put one here. And I'll put a small. It comes in 3 different sizes. Oops. Put one there. Okay. And let me show you the other card. This one I used a retired stamp called Stack Stone. I actually put it in my BOGO stuff that I know it was still in my stash, luckily, so nobody got it. And I'm so glad that I still had it because then it was perfect for this Mosaic Technique. So I don't think I'm gonna get rid of that because it's proven to be quite handy. So in this one here, I kept it the horizontal feature, and then This one, I made it vertical. And I think this stamp set is the It's Okay. It's an online exclusive, and it was released back in March. So very nice sentiments. It's okay to simply sit, feel how you feel, right? I have to do Get Well cards for the Smile Ministry, so that's why I was focusing on Get Well cards. Hope this is a feeling better kind of day. Okay, and then I have one more. I wanted to try it out with designer series paper. This is the Unbounded Love. And then I used the die from the link together. It's this big one here, and the flowers. Wishing you a happy day. Very generic kind of sentiment, but it can be used for so many things. So what do you think? You like that? I hope that I've inspired you to give it a try. And you'll see that, from watching me make it, it's not difficult at all, and if things are a little off, it's okay. Nobody's going to notice but you. So again, thank you very much for watching me. And let me remind everybody that the shipping promo, free shipping, is going on. It'll end tomorrow, and you save yourself 11% off of shipping. That's a great deal. And I forgot to mention that if you, for every $50 that you purchase in April, I'm giving away a $50 gift certificate, and I'm going to raffle that off after the end of the month. So right now, only one person is in the running for that. So order with me so you get a chance to get a $50 Stampin' Up! Gift certificate. Can you imagine all the goodies you can get with that? Hopefully you can. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.